I turned my video game into a manga. In 2013, I wanted to write a story about the end of the world. Fallen civilizations, countries going to war, people running in fear. I mean, hey, I was a teenager. I liked edgy things. Growing up on games like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy VII, and Radiata Stories, bet you never heard of that one. My brain concocted one of the craziest ideas ever. A knight using the power of light to fight darkness. Gee, where have I heard that before? But I knew I had to do something different, something special. While most RPG stories are about friendship, love, and fighting the darkness, I wanted to tell a story about fighting against corruption, unifying people, and asking the big question, can people truly unite as one in a world that benefits from division? This is Eternity's End, my fantasy adventure series which follows a boy named Zeke, whose dream is to become a Grandmaster Knight, the highest ranking knight in the world. Joining him on his quest is Tix, a loudmouth fairy who knows a lot about history, Kitsune, a local thief who loves money but is haunted by her traumatic past, Rex, a widower that is an expert inventor and the dad of the group, and Ko, the androgynous mage who's afraid of his own shadow but can really pack a punch during dire moments. Together, they go on a journey to find the three sacred knights, retired Grandmaster Knights whom Zeke's king wants to recruit to their side in order to help fight in this war against an evil being looking for revenge against Zeke's kingdom. The first volume of my series is available now on my website, gstormgo.com, as well as Amazon. Volume 2 will be releasing in the later half of 2026. And for those of you asking, who am I? Maybe you are asking this question, or maybe you're not, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I am Greg Stewart, founder and CEO of my own indie publishing company, G-Storm Entertainment LLC, where I produce and publish indie comics and video games. So hi, hello, welcome to the channel, subscribe, like the video, and hit that bell to stay notified because I will be uploading more videos like this in the near future. Eternity's End wasn't always a manga series. It was a video game that I made for fun on my computer. Developed in RPG Maker MV in 2018, this series was my attempt at making a Kingdom Hearts style story. A boy of light chosen to fight the darkness that wants to take over the world. That was the original concept for the series. The character designs were randomly put together, the setting was simple, even the name didn't have much meaning at first until something happened 2 years later. 2020 is when I decided to start my own business. Yeah, I know, during that time. Understanding that getting into the game dev industry was extremely difficult, realizing I wouldn't be able to just throw an application out to a studio thinking I'll get hired because I got a little experience in 2D game design and programming, I decided to start my own studio, G-Storm Entertainment, and become an indie developer. I wanted to get serious about creating content, especially since I was running a business now. Back then, I had no idea what to do or how to start. I knew I wanted to make games and write stories, but then I was like, what story should I start with? Then I was like, wait, story about boy and friends going on an adventure to fight evil. I could just do that. Why am I thinking too hard about this? So I made Eternity's End the flagship series of G-Storm Entertainment, since it was the story that not only I was the most familiar with, but the one that I actually finished. Eternity's End was never meant to be a serious thing, but now that I chose to make it a major title under my business, way more effort had to be put into it. But I knew making a professional Eternity's End game was going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, and skills I did not have at the time. So I decided to take a different approach. How about I make it into a manga? I grew up reading manga. Naruto, One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, the list goes on. I figure if I'm going to kickstart my small business, why not make manga and Western comics too? And it's way easier to produce than a video game, because if no one has told you before, video games are very expensive to make. I spent, and I kid you not, months reworking the story of Eternity's End because now I had to add logic to the story. What do I mean by that? You ever play a game and things don't make sense, but you accept that it doesn't make sense because it's a video game? Yeah, I had to address all those sections in the Eternity's End story. For example, in my original project, Zeke would learn a new spell after completing a level, but now that it's a manga series, which needs structure, world building, deep lore, and so on, I had to create in-universe explanations as to why things work the way they do. This process took way longer than I thought. Once I straightened all of that out, I ran into another problem. I can't draw. Oh, I can write a story. I can create characters. I can create lore. But drawing, not good at that at all. So I turned to the one thing that will help me draw at the time: my wallet. I went on Fiverr.com, met an awesome artist, and we've been working together ever since. And before you knew it, that random game on my computer became a manga series read by thousands of people across the globe. Since releasing the Eternity's End manga, I've met so many other indie creators who are creating their own stories. I partnered up with a musician to make an official theme song, which you can listen to now on Spotify. And I built a small but dedicated community who enjoys the series and are excited for what's to come next. What I find absolutely insane is that this is only the beginning. Both Eternity's End and G-Storm are only getting started, and I cannot wait to share my series with the rest of the world.